What's up guys, it's Spencer with Nobutech, and today we're bringing you a tips and tricks video for the Meta Quest 2. We use the Quest 2 a lot here, because it's not only really versatile, it's just a really good headset with a lot of bang for your buck. In our time messing around with the Quest 2, we've stumbled upon a lot of hidden features, so we decided to share with you 37 things you may not have known that the Meta Quest 2 can do. For our first tip, you can double tap to activate the pass-through camera. This is a great feature for when you want to see something outside of your headset but don't want to take the whole headset off. The resolution is pretty low though, so if you want to read texts or look at something a little farther away, you'll still have to take the headset off. Stepping outside of your boundary will activate the pass-through camera. Playing super hot or other movement-intensive games can get pretty crazy, so having the pass-through camera enabled when you start to leave your boundary helps you not run into anything or punch any furniture. The boundary system can detect objects in your play space. This is another feature that helps you be cautious of your surroundings. When you're setting up your boundaries, if there's anything in the play space that you could trip over or run into, the Quest 2 will warn you with a topographical array of points. There's another feature called Space Sense that will detect objects that enter your play space while you're in the headset. So if you have a pet or a child or anything that might walk or roll into your play area, the Quest will alert you if they enter your room scale boundary. Last little hidden feature of the pass-through cameras, they can detect infrared light. It's not really useful for anything, but if you have a PCVR setup with base stations, you can see the IR light they project. Doesn't do anything, but at least it's kinda cool. The Quest 2 does have hand tracking, which you can enable in the settings. It works really well with navigating menus and feels fairly accurate, as long as you hold your hands a good distance away from the cameras on the headset. Only specific games support the hand tracking feature though, but playing something like Elixir feels very natural and intuitive.
A rune of qualification. Now squeeze your fist. Brilliant! You're going to love being my servant. Apprentice, you know what you're doing. Ooh, let's do something about that awful smell.
In addition to hand tracking, another control option is voice commands. Double tap the Oculus button on your controller to activate the voice commands, which you can ask to launch different apps or ask stuff like, "What time is it?" Under experimental features, there's an option you can enable so that your Quest will enter the voice command feature every time you say, "Hey Facebook." Personally, it felt a little inconsistent, and I prefer double tapping the Oculus button. Hey Facebook, launch Beat Saber. Another experimental feature is the 120Hz refresh rate. It will give a smoother visual experience with more frames per second, but because it's experimental, only a couple games support this. Synth Riders, Gorilla Tag, and Superhot are among the supported games. The Oculus Phone app is itself loaded with a lot of hidden features. You can use the cast feature on your Quest to show your gameplay on your phone screen through the app. This is especially good for if you and your friends all have an iPhone. You can hop in a call with them and use the share screen function to show them what you're playing. You can also use the Oculus Phone app to record gameplay with a camera overlay. This is a great option for content creators as it allows you to effectively green screen yourself over the game or display yourself in the game side by side. It's a really good option for recording footage meant for things like YouTube videos or TikToks. You can also add phone notifications to your headset. This will allow you to see any texts, emails, phone calls, and other notifications without having to take off your headset. If you're away from your Quest and want to download a game to play later on, you can download it straight from the Oculus Phone app. This is possible even if the Quest is in rest mode. Lastly, you can send game invites to your friends through the Oculus app for a quick and easy way to hang out through some VR games. There are a number of apps available for the Quest that offer some really immersive experiences that not everybody may know about. The first of these is the YouTube app. This is great for watching 360 videos. It has everything from nature videos to documentaries to short films. You can also film your own videos for YouTube VR by using a 360 camera like an Insta360 One X2. The VR Animations app is really great for looking at animated art in VR. Most of the content consists of short animations, almost like VR GIFs, but they do have some longer 5+ minute animated videos. The web VR experiences are another feature that people really seem to gloss over. If you open up your browser, you can find free browser-based VR content. This can be everything from Beat Saber-like rhythm games to Flappy Bird in VR. There are also a lot of games that may be a little tricky to find due to being hidden on the Oculus Store, and those are the App Lab games. This is similar to Steam Early Access, as these games are still experimental and in development. However, some really popular games come from the App Lab. Oculus Move is another app that tracks your fitness stats while you play games. If you got a Quest to help with fitness at home, this is a great tracker to see how many calories you're burning while gaming. The Quest 2 has a multitasking feature. You can have up to 3 windows, and it's another feature that seems to be geared towards using VR for a workspace. You can move the windows around individually and even resize them. If you bought a game or app from the Oculus Store and it isn't working correctly, or you don't really care for it, you can request a refund through your purchase history. However, you have to have played the game for less than 2 hours and bought the game less than 40 days ago. Your friends on Facebook who have a Meta account are automatically added to your friends list. I've been amazed to see some people on my friends list who I never even knew got a Quest. You can also create personal avatars that are used throughout the Meta developed programs. The Meta apps feel pretty sparse so far and far from the metaverse that they're pitching, but the avatar creator is pretty in-depth with a lot of different customization options. You can add multiple accounts to one headset and even enable game sharing for the other accounts on the headset. If you have friends or family that you want to share games with, this is definitely the way to do it. Through the Share tab, you can record gameplay directly to your headset without using the phone app. By default, it captures the footage in 1:1 aspect ratio, but you can use SideQuest to change this to 16:9. If you're interested in this feature, let us know down in the comments and we'll make a dedicated tutorial of how to set this up. You can also cast what you're seeing on your headset. You can cast to a TV using a Google Chromecast. This can either be a standalone Chromecast or a smart TV with Chromecast built in. In the same vein, you can cast to a web browser, which you can record with a software like OBS. The IPD, or interpupillary distance, of the headset is also adjustable. You can manually adjust the lenses to more closely match the distance between your eyes. There are 3 settings which you can tell by the number in between the lenses. The first setting is 58mm, the second setting is 63mm, and the third setting is 68mm. You can turn your Meta Quest 2 into a PCVR headset with AirLink or a link cable. The link cable is really fantastic for anybody who has a VR-ready PC. I've gotten a lot of use out of it personally, and it's a fantastic alternative to having to shell out the cash for a high-end headset like an Index or Vive Pro 2. AirLink is technically classified as an experimental feature, but realistically it works pretty well. The biggest downside comes from the decreased resolution, which sometimes makes games look pretty horrible. If you don't have a link cable though and really want to play a PCVR exclusive game, AirLink is a decent option. You can also pair specific Bluetooth accessories to your headset. The first of these are gamepads, which you can pair a variety of controllers like Xbox, PlayStation, or any sort of Bluetooth gamepad. This is great for games that are meant to be played on a gamepad like Trover Saves the Universe, Thumper, or Subnautica. You can also use Bluetooth to pair a mouse and keyboard. This is a good option for people who use VR as a workspace. Not all keyboards are tracked though, which means that they have a 3D model that shows up in VR. Currently, the only 2 that are tracked are the Logitech K830 and Apple Magic keyboards. You can bring your couch or desk into VR by scanning it. You can find this under the Guardian or Boundary settings. This is good for somebody working from the headset, or if you don't want to check your pass-through or take the headset off to see where your couch or desk are. You can also change your home environment to different virtual surroundings. There's another side quest feature that enables custom home environments, so again, if you want a side quest video, let us know. You can now enable cloud saves if you go into system settings and enable cloud backup. It's a good option for if you have multiple headsets or want to ensure you don't lose your save data in case something happens to your quest. You can set your headset tracking frequency in the settings. It can be set to auto, 50 Hz, or 60 Hz. Auto will be fine for a majority of people, but you can try changing it to one of the manual options if your headset frequently loses tracking. If you have stick drift, you can adjust the dead zones of your joysticks in the settings to attempt to compensate for that. The controller itself also has some hidden keystrokes. You can hold the Oculus button and pull the trigger to get an instant screenshot, and you can also just hold the Oculus button to quickly recenter your view. Those are all the tips and tricks we have for this video. How many of these did you know about? Let us know down in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.